Thinking about moving to Jacksonville with your family? Well, Jacksonville's big, and I'm here to describe all the neighborhoods and the best way to attack this type of move. Before you get here, you got to watch this video so I can show you some of the biggest mistakes that new people make when they're relocating here, because you're just looking at a picture online, you're looking at a listing online, and you're thinking about a house. You got to think about more than that. So stick around and I'm going to show you all the details that you need to consider before relocating here to Metro Jacksonville. Thanks so much for sticking around, friends. My name's Nicole Smith. I'm a local realtor here in Metro Jacksonville, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the great neighborhoods that relocation people pick, why they pick those neighborhoods, and about the schools, and even some of the fun things to do here if you decide to move here. So let's get started. I help people relocate all the time, and some of the major questions they ask me are about safety and about schools. Those are the two topics they always ask me about, especially if they have children. Now, I must tell you, as a realtor, I am not allowed to talk to you about neighborhood safety. I'm not allowed to talk to you about schools. Those are two particular subject matters that I cannot talk to you about, but I can direct you to some great websites where you can get that information. And the first spot I would always go to is the county of choice that you're deciding to make a move in. So if you're considering making a move into Jacksonville, Jacksonville has Duval County Schools. That is a first spot I would go to. Then I would go to greatschools.org. That is another great website that you can take a look at all the grades and find out what is on the scope for each and every school. And every child has different needs. They might have different interests. So that is something you definitely want to do your research in before you decide on a neighborhood, if that is the most important thing for you. Now let's get into each neighborhood. Now, one of the first neighborhoods that people really gravitate to here in the area is actually on the outskirts of Jacksonville. It is in St. Johns County. And St. Johns County is one of the highest rated school systems, and that is why it's always a great community of choice. But I want to tell you about St. John's. Now, St. John's is a sprawling county. It's quite large. But within this county, there have been a lot of communities being built, and it feels like the suburbs. So you're going to have a lot of houses close together. You're going to have a little cookie cutter houses that everybody else has. They pretty much look the same. You're going to have a lot of amenities in these communities, which also brings your CDD and an HOA fee. So you're going to have to consider all the costs of living in such a community. When you're paying for the best school system, you're going to pay a bit higher price for your home. So sometimes budget may be something you'll consider if you cannot afford that. So you have to have an idea of your budget. The other thing you're going to have to actually ask yourself is, how far is my commute from home to work? What's the quality of life like if you're sitting behind a car for hours and hours? You want to definitely consider your commute. Then you're also going to want to think about all the conveniences around that neighborhood. So some of the newer established communities here, they are just in the beginning portions of building all the things that every community needs, like grocery stores, hardware stores, and all those type of conveniences. So you're going to have to consider you might not have all of them quite yet in that area. So if you're looking for new construction, you're definitely going to be able to find it in St. Johns County. And there are some old and established areas as well, but primarily it's known as a newer construction community, and they're still building out here, and there are still a lot of incentives. And just remember, if you're looking to go with new construction, you always want to hire a realtor, because I can represent you, and the builder's agent represents the builder. So they do not have your best interest at heart. They have the builder's best interest at heart. So always bring a realtor with you and make sure you hire one. One of the other popular areas that people seem to gravitate to is the Mandarin area. Now, this area is established. When you go into this area, you're going to see old trees that are just swooning across the roads. Some of the houses are going to be completely different from the other houses. There's very few new construction communities in here. There are some, but primarily everybody's home is going to be quite unique and different. You're not going to have that cookie cutter community. And you will be close to all the restaurants, the shopping, the highways, the conveniences. And there's even options to live on the water, so you can have water property, which in this area, there's some water properties in the millions. So you're going to have millions all the way to affordable housing here in the Mandarin area. And once again, if that's a spot you're looking for, you can look up on Duval schools, because Mandarin is in Duval County. These communities will feel a little more historic, and they'll feel a little more, I don't know, southern, I guess. When you're from the north and you get into an area like Mandarin, it just has this very charming vibe. So definitely check it out, because when you look on a map at an area and you think it's going to be close to your job, in reality, it is not close at all. There's high-end communities, there's affordable housing, there's middle housing, there's student housing even. So there's all types of housing in this area. You're going to have people who live on golf courses, you're going to have people that live in gated communities. You're also going to be not too far from the ocean, maybe a 15-minute drive in most cases in this area from the ocean. So if being close to the ocean, but not, right at the ocean, is something on your bucket list, this might be a great option for you. It has parks, recreation, shopping. In fact, the St. John's Town Center is one of the largest outdoor malls in all of Florida, and it is amazing. I absolutely love it there, and all the shops and restaurants around, always something to do in that area. Great place to bring your family and do a lot of activities. But let's keep going. I'm going to go on to the next area, which of course, the beaches. Now, when we say the beaches, you're going to talk about Jacksonville Beach, you're going to talk about Ponte Vedra, you're going to talk about Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach, Mayport Beach, and if we want to go all the way into Nassau County. So, what do you have near the beach? You have a large variety. If you're looking for a family life, you're going to probably want a home. But some of the homes there only have one bathroom. So if that could be a deal breaker for you, the pricing to live close to the ocean is going to be much higher than the pricing in any other part of the city. So the houses may be smaller and they may not have everything you want. So that is something you're going to have to consider if you're choosing to live near the beach. There are some new construction homes, so you may get that option if you're looking for that, or you're going to get an old town home. You might get a cinder block home. All different options here in the Jacksonville area. So let's just consider another place that maybe hasn't been on your radar, and that is Clay County. Now, Clay County can be Oakleaf, Orange Park, you can be in Green Cove Springs, Middleburg. There's all kinds of spots in Clay County. Now, Clay County has old housing. They have farmers still. There's cows still and horses and all that around. But the builders are building like crazy out in Clay County. There's a lot of builders still going strong and hard out there, and you can definitely get some good deals. But with proximity to the ocean, you're probably 45 minutes to 60 minutes away from the ocean. So if that's okay with you, this is a great place to plant your family and relocate. You're going to get a lot more bang for your buck in Clay County. The houses are going to be bigger. They're not going to be as on top of each other, and the pricing is going to be quite good. And depending on if you're living in a community with an HOA and a CDD, or you can find houses without those out there. So it is a very great opportunity, and the school systems, you look them up at the Clay County School Board. So you definitely have to do your research. but Clay County is somewhere I would consider, especially if you have a growing family. But everybody has a place where they want to live, what they want to be close to. If you're in the military, perhaps you're going to want to be closer to Mayport or NAS JAX, which is the west side of Jacksonville. It might be an opportunity for you to live in Ortega or in Oakleaf or Argyle Forest. There's a really a lot of neighborhoods here in Jacksonville, and I can definitely be your boots on the ground here because I have traveled from one end to the other and helped people relocate here from all over the place. So trust me when I tell you, you don't want to do this alone. You definitely want to have a professional realtor guiding you. And I am absolutely going to leave a link below to my calendar so we can schedule a time to talk about all your options. And whether you're moving in 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years, it's never too early or too late to reach out to me. I would be happy to have you as customers. Now, the next part of town, I kind of hit on it earlier, was Fernandina and Amelia Island and Yulee. That is Nassau County. You can go to the school board there and look up all the schools, and I'm thinking they're really doing quite well. Their school systems are going up high. You can get a planned community or not a planned community, and there are some beautiful communities out there as well. I've done quite a few videos, so make sure you check them out in Yulee. We also have some fabulous historical neighborhoods in the downtown area. We have Springfield and San Marco, and we have Riverside, Avondale. That's it. Oh my gosh, these are such quaint and charming little areas with every house being quite different. It's a whole vibe, and if that's a vibe for you, I would definitely want you to go and see it. And one of my tips is make sure you're going into these neighborhoods and thinking about the time of day you'd be leaving for work. Go there then so you can see the traffic patterns. Go there on the weekends so you can see what the nightlife is like. You want to test it. You have to come and actually test the community. It's so big. But once you have your mindset where you think you want to go, the budget you're going to have, the lifestyle you're seeking, the proximity to your job, I can actually help you even more to get you right into the neighborhood that I think would best suit all of your needs. So it's very important for us to have a discussion. It's so good to have someone here that can walk you, talk you through it, and guide you all the way. That's all. I need you to trust me to guide you, to get you exactly what you told me you wanted. Military. We are a military town. There's a lot of people that move here for the military, and some of them leave because they get stationed somewhere else, but then they'll come back and retire here. So this is a town that loves the military, that respects the military, and there's some really great communities. And it depends on how far you want to drive and how many bridges you want to cross will determine which part of Jacksonville you will want to live in, especially if you are raising a family. So I definitely can help you with your military PCSing, and I do have guides for that. So if that's something you want, I have relocation guides, I have PSing guides. Let me know. So if you are relocating yourself and your family here and you're feeling overwhelmed, you don't have to feel overwhelmed. Call me, message me, link up with me on my calendar. Let's get a game plan together so you don't have to do this alone. Jacksonville is such a huge city, and the Metro Jacksonville with St. John's, Clay County, Nassau County, and of course Duval is the largest county. There's a lot to take in. Let me guide you. Make sure you message me today so this can be such an easy and smooth transaction for you. You can do a lot of outdoor events. We have our beautiful zoo here. We have the Ram, which is their Riverside art market, every Saturday morning, which is lovely. And it seems like almost every weekend there's an event going on at one location or another, downtown or at the beaches. There's always something going on. It's always so fun here, and people are really friendly and kind. I think you would love living here. Make sure you do it with someone, okay, that you trust, that you know is going to guide you. And you know what I always say? Life is too short not to love where you're living, and I'm living the dream here in Jacksonville, Florida, and I would love for you to be my neighbor, and I would love to be your realtor. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and reach out to me so I can help you relocate you and your family here. It's always a pleasure and an honor to get to know you and to find out all your wants, all your needs, and to try to execute that with such peace, ease, and it's so smooth. Let me guide you. Thanks for watching, friends, and until next time, stay safe.